Hi, this is David with entry number 860, 824, 23, 24. Here on Friday afternoon in the hostel, recording because I didn't get a chance to when I was outside today. I want to talk about an interesting thing that happened to me today, and that is a kind of lapse of customer service. Now, I believe that good customer service is very important. I think that's an obvious statement, but it's a very curious thing how in Asia, customer service means very different things in different parts of Asia. In China, I don't know what it means. I don't know if it means anything unless you're shopping at a very expensive place. In Japan, I know it means a great deal, and in Korea, it means somewhere in between China and Japan. And here in Singapore, my experience is that similar to, I suppose, maybe the U.S. Depending on how much you're spending, you get a great deal difference in terms of customer service. Today I was in a very kind of high-end Nordstrom style department store called Tongs or Tangs, and it's weird they call it Tangs locally, but you know, I always thought the Tang was pronounced Tong, but because I thought, like a long time ago, Americans would say Tang because you're American and that's how you just pronounce everything really hard, but whatever. And I was in one in Orchard, and I had a very nice convivial conversation with a woman, and I was going to buy a nice insulated tumbler, or like a cup, and there was this huge, really long queue, and I didn't know what was happening, so I just left the line, and I said, kind of screw it, I don't want to wait, and I went to go to a grocery store to pick up some bread, and I went to Harborfront, which is in a huge mall called Vivo City, and I went into another Tongs there just to see if they had the same mug, and I'd pick it up. And I had a very different experience with a woman who was approximately the same age, maybe in her mid-40s, but she was so not helpful. She wasn't mean or rude, she just did not have any tact. She didn't have any kind of customer service sense. And I would say that, like, typically when you deal with people, you should always, especially when you're working for the business, it's always your fault. It's always the business's fault. It's never the customer's fault. And I asked her, oh, the price was $38 at Tong's Orchard, and she was like, oh, impossible. And I said, oh, and she said it like that. She put a definite accusatory affectation on her speech, and she was like, impossible. And I said, well, that's what I saw. She's like, oh, when you see. And I said, I saw it earlier today. She said, oh, well, impossible. This price. And I said, oh, why are you telling me I saw it wrong? Are you telling me I'm lying? And she was like, well, impossible. And so it really upset me because it's the same store, just this woman did not have a sense of customer service. She had kind of, I would say, zero clue at what she was doing. In America, we say famously, the customer is always right. And today, and a few times it's happened here in Singapore, you just have these Chinese people or Singaporeans who have no idea how to give proper customer service. And I'm not saying it's a huge problem, because it's obviously not, but it is not a rude awakening, but it is definitely something that these people, I was ready. I got so pissed. I was ready to go to her manager, the floor manager, and tell the floor manager that this woman shouldn't be, or needs to be corrected, needs to be reprimanded for this rude behavior, or what I interpreted as rude behavior. And I didn't do it, but I was ready to. And to get me that riled up usually takes a lot. And it's really hard because it's an interesting thing, because when you get bad customer service, you lose your patience for it, and when you lose your patience for it, you can really kind of set a bad precedent for the future, because you're expecting bad customer service, so you become kind of an asshole, and it's a really kind of negative kind of whirlwind you can find yourself in. But anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye.